Coming to you from the historic Hart Building in Marysville, California, in Studio 93, In the Tank with Fish, with your host, Bob Fischetti.
Well, here's a special edition of In the Tank. It's In the Tank with 70 years. That's amazing. 70 years at 70,000 feet, the upcoming Beale Air Show, and a celebration of all that they have done. And I feel real fortunate because I have Captain Grant, who is the something of something. Tell me what it is again.
I'm the STEM director for the
STEM director. Gosh, how could I forget that? We just talked about it. And then Colonel McLeese, who is the base commander, or I think they still call it that.
Wing commander.
Wing commander.
Installation commander also, but wing commander. Yeah, 9th Reconnaissance Wing.
And Super Cardinals fan. But that's another conversation for another time.
That's right.
We'll do that. Gentlemen, thanks so much for coming on. I just am so appreciative of this. I feel like I have become, I'm going to be careful how I say this, almost like I've gotten back in.
There you go.
You see more uniforms than I've seen in a long time, but it's great.
Good,
it's just
glad.
great. What a killer job. What a great way to celebrate with the Beale Air Show. And I do want people to know as we get into this conversation that this is not something like what you see at Mather, which is every year, or at Travis, which is every couple of years. This is a super great opportunity for the public, especially those of us that live right here, to actually get on base and then see what Beale does. I mean, this is just amazing to me.
We're excited for it. Can't wait. Can't wait. Less than 2 weeks away. Can't believe it.
No, how can that be?
Yeah.
It seemed like we were just talking the other day. It's like, it's a month away. And it's like, time goes fast. Huh?
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I want to talk about STEM a little bit because the rumor is there's a lot of STEM stuff out there, interactive.
Yeah, that rumor is true. STEM this year for our air show is going to be pretty robust. We're actually filling up about 3 aircraft hangars worth of STEM materials. The only goal that I have with STEM was that it's interactive and hands-on, because I want people to come to our STEM hangar and be inspired. I want people to be able to see not just airplanes. There's going to be a variety of different aspects of STEM, because we know that not everybody likes airplanes, and that's okay. We just want folks to be able to come of all ages and get an experience that is within the actual air show experience. And so that's what my goal is to provide as much STEM outreach and education as I can, and inspire the community that gets to come on base.
If somebody were to take the ASVAB, what are they looking for that they would direct them towards things that are STEM? What would they score high on?
I don't know all of those, but I would assume probably the mechanical would probably be one. Some of the math, those kind of areas would be some of the scores that are higher. But those recruiters do a really good job of prepping folks that are interested in joining a specific aspect of the military to help them tailor a study plan that allows them to go in there and do the best they can to kind of get the job that they're looking for. So I would say if you are interested in a STEM-related career field, then looking at some of those mechanical, mathematics, those kind of areas would be the ones I would focus on.
Yeah, I was wondering. I scored extremely high on mechanical, and my recruiter was like, "Oh, you're going to be a jet engine mechanic." And I got to Lackland, and they made me a cop. It was like, what happened to aircraft mechanic? Well, it's kind of like that. You get to walk around them. Okay.
Well, a gun is very mechanical.
Yeah.
It is.
So, I mean,
It is. It's very mechanical. That's amazing. Well, I only ask that because I do know that there are going to be recruiting opportunities where you'll have the recruiters out there. You'll have the Air Force recruiter and then those other guys. But
thank you.
sorry,
Fish.
I think I'm biased. I think Kurt and I are both biased. You know,
okay. It's a good bias to have. I think that the Air Force is great as well. But when you talk about
Captain Grant.
Go Air Force,
Yeah.
sink Navy, beat Army.
Yeah, there you go.
I'm going to start singing, "They took the blue from the sky and the pretty girls." You guys probably never heard
No, I don't know what you're
Haven't
doing
heard
right
that
there.
What? That's the reason I went in. So, Colonel, I have to ask you. So, is this for Beale? I know this will be the first air show for you.
Yes.
But in your travels in the airports, have you been involved in air shows before?
Oh yeah. I mean, how can you not? If you're a pilot, how can you not help but be part of air shows, right? Yeah. I mean, really, I remember the first air show that I got to be a part of in uniform. I was in pilot training in Columbus, Mississippi. I think this would have been in 2003. And I remember I directed parking. That was my job for, I think, a solid 12 hours in my flight suit directing parking. And but I mean, it's one of those things where if you're getting to show other people what makes the Air Force great, what makes air power great, it's just fun to be a part of, quite honestly. And he was talking about recruiting. I mean, this is one of the best recruiting models that we have, is to just let people onto an Air Force base. So I had friends that came onto the base for the first time ever. They came on the Air Force base. We had them over for lunch. And the thing that they were saying were like, oh, there's a library here. Oh, there's a gas station here. Oh, there's a grocery store here. I think people don't even really understand Air Force lifestyle and Air Force life on an Air Force base. So that small part seems like I don't even think in uniform we think about it. But letting the community come on the base and go, we're just people like everybody else, just living our lives like everyone else, going to a job. It just happens to be that whenever we go to our job, we hear afterburners. And you know what I mean? Like it's a really, really, we take it for granted in uniform. And the first air show here in the Beale area in 7 years, what a cool opportunity for people to finally get to see Beale Air Force Base since 2018. So we're really excited about this opportunity, and we are definitely putting our best foot forward.
You know, it's really true. You don't realize bases are self-contained.
Yeah.
And when you're on them and you're in, you just think, well, this is just what you do. And you're right. It's like, I was amazed after I got my first stripe. I was like, I'm just going to work.
Right.
I'm going to work. Oh, I got a hospital. I got a grocery store. I got everything I need here.
Right.
And so I think that people think it's sometimes, and it's really my hope that we can erase this, that the base is out there and we're here.
Right.
No, we're all here together. It's just that when you get out there, you find out they are self-contained. Everything they need's there.
It's an unfortunate thing that I think that happened after September 11th too. Right?
Yeah.
We had to increase security, but by doing that, it's unfortunately created more of a barrier, literally and figuratively, for people getting onto base and then bringing them in to let them have that experience. So that's why this air show is so important to me and important to my superiors that we do this, so we really let people experience Air Force lifestyle and air power.
Well, and there's so many people in our area that retired from Beale and stayed here. There's a huge veteran population here. And I just think, man, just the opportunity even for vets, because like I didn't retire. And so I can't just go out and go on base.
Right.
So given an opportunity for me, I'm like, this is exciting. As long as you don't make me walk around the aircraft unless I want to. Right. I'm good with it, But then you're right. It's such a great connection. And STEM, we got schools here in the area that's their focus is STEM. And so this will be amazing to have that. Not to mention the air show itself, but it's like you think, I don't know if I get in those 3 hangars, am I going to miss the show? You guys going to run everybody out and go, wait a minute, it's starting now.
I mean, honestly, when does the STEM experience open?
So it's going to open when the ECPs open at 09. So from 9 to when the flying starts at 12. That's a great opportunity so you don't miss any flying. But there's always the opportunity there too. If you ever want to, get a break from the heat and come into the hangar, you can kind of come and step in and kind of get in some simulators, VR headsets, and go back out and watch some more amazing flying out there. So STEM is not going to be a separate experience. It's an experience within the air show. It just gives people a variety. Ground entertainment is important when you go to an air show where there's a lot of flying and there's breaks. So whenever people want to kind of come and flow, we'll have people there excited, energized, ready to interact with them and give them a dose of some of the technology that we currently have and the future, which is kind of an awesome time right now when you think of technology with regards to aviation and just STEM in general.
Yeah.
So since you brought that up, Colonel, I understand that there might be some of the new aircraft out there that people can see, that potential is there.
Yeah.
And
yes,
that's
not even
technology.
just potential. It's real.
Yeah.
Yeah, so what you're referencing is, so Beale was announced as being the number one base being considered to be an aircraft readiness unit for the future collaborative combat aircraft, which are essentially unmanned fighter aircraft that are entering into service. Right now we have two of them, one built by General Atomics, which is the YFQ-42, and then the one built by Anduril, which they just named the Fury, is the YFQ-44. And so both of those will be on the ramp, the first air show to ever have them on the ramp. It'll be bracketed along with a U2 in the middle, and you can go out there and you can just stand mere feet away from these brand new unmanned fighter jets, the first ever in the world unmanned fighter jets that are hopefully, Lord willing, are going to end up being stationed here in Beale Air Force Base within the next several years.
I'm praying right now.
Oh, yeah. You and me both.
Awesome.
It'd be fantastic.
So you were a fighter pilot.
I am a fighter pilot.
Oh, yeah.
Come on.
Yeah.
Come on. I am a fighter pilot.
Okay, the interview's over because he's going to throw me out of here. So how do you feel about that? Having unmanned fighters with you? I mean, is it seem odd to you, or are you thinking, oh, this will be great?
Honestly, it's a natural progression. It really is, because when you think about what it takes to make a fighter pilot, you have to go through a year's worth of pilot training. Then you have to go through another 3-month course of flying those same jets just like a fighter pilot. Then you have to go spend another 9 months. So now I've got you 2 years in, and now you're only just qualified to take a fighter jet like an F-35, an F-22 from point A to point B. You're not qualified to fight in it yet.
Wow.
Now you have to go through mission qualification training that takes another 3 to 6 months, maybe even 9 months, depending. So now you're 2.5 years in, and all you can do is just be a wingman in the platform, employing it as a weapon system. And so when you think of all the money that goes into that, I think they've figured out that that's close to $10 million to make one fighter pilot. Well, if I can now have wingmen that are unmanned, that are alongside me, that I can help direct the flow, they're autonomous, but they're semi-autonomous. And so now they have kind of a man in the loop, woman in the loop in this. And so I can direct these little wingmen to go out in front of me, put themselves in more risk, but in order to be better sensors, put weapons further forward, right? And not have to have the pilot be the one that's doing that. And it creates a quantity problem that the enemy has to face of, what is their priority target, and can they figure it out?
No.
And so it gives them a problem set that not only am I sensing more, not only do I have more weapons available to me in different areas, but also there's a targeting problem set that is presented to the enemy as well. And so it's a force multiplier. I think it's a natural progression of where we're headed. And as a fighter pilot, no, it doesn't frighten me at all. As a matter of fact, I just see it as a natural progression of things. I mean, if we sit still and try to do things the same way we did them in the 1940s, we're doomed to fail, and we're not going to keep up with the way of warfare in the future.
Technology is just moving way too fast to not end up here. So, like, you get to name them.
Yeah, well, I mean, Anduril did. Like I said, the Fury. I think that's a pretty good name.
It's like
I want a couple Furies on my wing. Absolutely.
I feel like I'm watching X-Wing fighters.
Yeah.
You're like talking
That's
back
right.
and
Bring the
forth.
Fury.
This is exciting. So they will actually
They'll
get to
be on
see
the ramp.
They will.
Wow.
Yep, they'll be there.
They'll be stage center, so they'll be right in the front. You can't miss them.
Yeah, and like Captain Grant said, I mean, I've got 4 kids of my own. If I've got my kids, I'm going to come out early, right? I'm going to come out for that 9 o'clock experience, be able to go through all the STEM. We've got food and drink and everything. Enjoy your time. We'll have shade that's available. Some of the upgraded experiences provide even more shaded areas that you can be in. But you can go there, you can come out, watch, and then, while you're grabbing a bite to eat and a drink, you can go back in, check out the STEM experience, and kind of come and go. And again, he's downplaying to being humble, but I'm telling you, it's going to be the best STEM experience of any air show this year, hands down.
I appreciate that for sure. The support has been amazing, and the base is ready. The base is energized and excited to bring this many people on and to kind of showcase, what makes the Air Force amazing, what makes Beale so amazing. And we want to make this a community event. We want the community to come out and see a reflection of themselves through us. And we want to be able to kind of do that and share this experience as a family. And so we're very excited for this opportunity.
I think it's awesome. I know the question has been, so when's the next one? And it's like, let's get through this one. Get excited about this. Let's get through this one.
That's right.
But I think that there just seems to be just a flow that's happening between the community and Beale, one that I'm personally excited about, but also with the new technologies, with having STEM and having 3 hangars. If you ask me, well, Fish, what are you going to put in those 3 hangars? I don't know. Ask Captain Grant.
Yeah, that's right.
Because I would have no idea. What do you put in there, right? And you already mentioned like 4 or 5 items. I'm thinking, okay, I'm just going to be walking around looking at the aircraft. It's like, yeah, that's amazing. 3 hangars.
Yeah, I mean, the boss talked about, it takes $10 million to make 1 fighter pilot. Well, that's for now. We need to figure out what the future looks like, how to be more efficient, more effective. And that comes through the minds of youth right now that are going to be the people that are building the technology, that are going to be building those aircraft or thinking through those problem sets in a different way to make us more efficient and effective. And that's what STEM kind of does. It just kind of gets that interest really early and allows us to kind of build upon that. So in the hangar, you'll see things as like, you'll see simulators that are like 18-wheeler trailers. You'll see mini jets that you can actually get into and see a cockpit that actually moves on the ground. You'll see a variety of different kind of booths with people giving people education. Every agency will have recruiters in there from all service branches, the Naval Academy, the Air Force Academy. So there's going to be a ton of education. But again, going back to the goal that I have was to be very interactive and hands-on. So when folks are in there, I want them to be able to actually touch things and do things and kind of get excited about what their future looks like, because we really do need them.
I took my son to the Air Force Academy in Colorado Springs. I was really kind of pressing his buttons, to be honest, right? And so we're out there, and they got, I think it's a C-130. That's marked that it took out a MiG, right? And it's like, so who was the fighter pilot flying that thing at the time that happened, But I think about the technology from that to where it is now. And I remember people saying, well, video games are good because the kids are going to be flying aircraft. It's going to be, the screen that they have, it's getting more and more technical like that, where the kids, what they're learning is actually applicable to getting in the Air Force and getting a career field that would be just amazing in technology. They're already interested in technology. Let me invite you into 4 years of having an awesome time where what is only going to be expanded on.
Yeah, that's right.
Guys, don't put me in a recruiting booth.
I think you might fit quite well. You're doing a great job over here.
Say, Fish, just sit over here, right?
Yeah, that's right.
I still got that uniform. I'll show up, right?
I love it.
And so this is, and I do apologize, sir, for saying were a fighter pilot. I will remember that. That's like once a Marine, always a Marine. I will not make that mistake. That's right.
It's a mentality, not just a profession.
So I know I asked you this last time, but I want to ask again since we're on this.
Please.
So you still fly. Just because you became a wing commander, that doesn't mean you're out of the cockpit.
That's right.
So what do you fly? Can you?
So I've had the fortunate ability to get inside the U-2 cockpit a couple times. Wow. But more than anything, T-38 is where I'm focusing my efforts now. Right now, I need to make sure that the U-2 drivers are getting exactly what they need. And so I'm focusing my efforts more in the T-38 realm. But about once a week, get myself airborne, which whets the appetite.
Yeah. Is the T-38 going to change, or is that going to stay as a standard trainer?
The T-38, I mean, it's been in service since the 1950s.
Well, that's why I asked.
Probably you're keenly aware. And so we're replacing that with Boeing's T-7. And so I can't say that's coming to Beale right now, but the T-7 is going to be that T-38 replacement. But the thing is, the T-38 is like a third generation. We talk about third, fourth, fifth, sixth generation fighters. Your F-15C, F-16, that's fourth generation. Your F-22, F-35, that's fifth generation. The F-47, that's sixth generation.
You're getting one of those.
Oh, man. Please, can you help get me into one of those?
I'm calling the president.
I'm telling. Thank you.
Whatever good that would do.
Okay.
I want one of those at Beale.
I'm in. I can be your Huckleberry. So, but no, I would say that the third generation, though, back whenever it was the F4, it was the T-38 was the trainer. So when we go to the T7, I mean, we're talking like we're going from a 3rd generation trainer to like a 5th generation trainer. And it is the things that we will be able to do with that platform we haven't even conceptualized yet. Wow. The layers of increase in capability of instruction and the capabilities it brings in training. The T7 is going to be fantastic. The red-tailed hawk is the name of that airplane, and Boeing's making that right now, and that's going to be a huge help for us. But yeah, so that will be replacing. It's a single engine trainer, but I will tell you, having flown in the simulator, having flown in the aircraft, having flown in that simulator, it performs a whole lot like an F-35 does.
Oh,
and it has a very similar flight characteristics to what I felt like an F-35 performed in terms of the simulator. So it's going to be leaps and bounds above what a T-38 can do. T-38 has kind of seen its life come, and it's starting to fade. It just can't train the same for F-22, F-35, F-47 pilots. It's just not there.
So I grew up in St. Louis.
Yeah.
My dad worked for McDonnell Douglas, and he was one of the final inspectors on the F-4 Phantom.
Really?
So I was a kid. They had McDonald's would always have their air show, right?
Yeah.
And I remember going in, and my dad really wanted me to see whatever the first Apollo, whatever it was,
yeah.
a little cone-shaped thing. And, us kids were walking by and thinking, I could barely fit in there. They put a man in that thing, shot him up in space. It's like, we got to do better than this, right? But I'll never forget then, as a kid, I was probably 10. Little did I know it'd only be a matter of time before the 475th Fighter Wing was flying those F-4s over my head. You just never know, right? But I watched the aircraft change, and I was at Mather doing duty for an air show. And I swear, it looks like these jets can stop midair and just sit there. The technology is just mind-boggling. I don't even know what they could come up with next.
Yeah, some of them seem to defy physics.
They do.
Yeah.
I just want to know what it feels like how many G's are you taking when you take those turns? How can they even turn that fast?
It hurts.
Does it?
It hurts. That's right.
So we're getting the truth right here.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it just amazes me. And so as far as Beale goes in the air show, they're going to get to see just numerous different events within it. So there'll be static displays. They'll have the STEM 3 hangars, right. And then all the aircraft that they'll see. But within the show, Colonel, how long is the actual air show?
So the air show portion itself will run from 12 o'clock noon until the final act that starts as the Thunderbirds. They're our closing act on all 3 days, and I'll tease that out here in a second. But they will be the final act that starts at 4 o'clock in the afternoon. After that show's over, with the aerial portion is over, and then some of the static displays, people can stay around. But most people, after that final act of the Thunderbirds, usually start to make their way towards their cars. So we're going to take a quick break because he's going to play a little video for you, and then and hopefully we all like the video. We're not going to do like the Academy Awards for it. We're just going to nod our heads in approval, right? That's right.
That was amazing.
Right?
Just
Straight fire.
Yeah.
The pictures of the aircraft. I don't know. Whoever did that, we need to have them do one for the radio
Shout out
station.
to Public Affairs. They crushed that one.
Well said.
Yeah, we don't have any planes, but maybe I could jump off the roof of the Hart Building with a blanket or an umbrella, like a kid. It's like, wow.
It's good. It's exciting.
I can see
it's
why
coming.
you would jump in that 47
Let's
in
go.
a New York Minute. They'd have to hold you back on your way out. You'd see that stuff.
Well, I think just about any red-blooded American wants to hop in there, right?
Yeah. Wow. Well, I'm excited. So let's talk a little bit more about the air show.
Okay.
The 3 days that they're going to be out there.
Right.
The actually meet and greet for the Thunderbirds. So
yeah. No. So thanks for the opportunity. So we're actually going to have 3 days of an air show. The first day is kind of a smaller audience, and this is a rare opportunity where we say thank you to all those who can regularly get on base at Beale. Any DoD ID card holder who can normally get on base day in, day out. They will have the ability on Friday, the 6th, to come to an air show that is going to be smaller in footprint, but still equal in display. And so they can come in. The air show will still start at noon. It'll still run all the way through 4 o'clock with the Thunderbirds. But it's basically just DoD ID card holders. And really what it is all of the performers doing their rehearsal. But to everyone else sitting on the ground watching, a rehearsal looks like the live experience. And so one teaser is that this will be the first time in the history of the Thunderbirds that they are putting pyrotechnics alongside of their air show.
I love that.
And I'm telling you, I said it last time, as soon as I heard the term wall of fire associated alongside of the Thunderbirds, I'm like, let's go. I want to see that. So really excited for that. But no, so on that Friday, they can come in and they can park as they would normally park. We'll have designated parking areas, but they can come in, they can watch the air show, and that'll still have food and drink and all, but it's a smaller, more intimate air show experience on that Friday for those who can regularly access the base. But then, Friday evening, we've got an air show experience that I'll let Captain Grant talk about.
Yeah, so Friday is going to be the welcome party for the Thunderbirds, and that's going to be here in Marysville in the community at Veterans Park. So between 6 and 8, people in the community can come out totally free. You get the chance to meet the Thunderbirds and some of our other aerial performers, both civilian and military, as well as our static aircraft. It's just going to be an awesome opportunity for everybody to come together and set the foundation for what's going to be a great weekend in terms of just all the things that you get to see at the air show.
What a great opportunity.
Right? I mean, getting to shake hands and get autographs from the Thunderbirds and from all the aerial demonstration pilots that they can see the next day. I'm like, that's a really exciting opportunity. And the fact that it's free, it's at the park, it's open access. Captain Grant's done a great job of putting that together to where it's going to be a fun experience that evening to get up close and personal with all of the different aviators that are going to be a part of the air show that weekend. Really cool. And I'm really thankful that
right down the street, Veterans Park. That's easy.
Veterans Park. That's right. And it starts at what time?
It's going to be 6 to 8 p.m.
There you go. 6 to 8 p.m.
So.
And then the next day.
Right. So the next day, and both days are going to look very similar to each other, but the gates will open at 8.
Okay.
You do need to go to BealeAirShow.com and get your free parking pass. Now, you can get levels of experience that are upgraded from that. It starts with a ground floor experience that I think is $35 will get you a premium parking pass. But then also you can get higher experiences where you can get the flight deck experience, where you have shaded area, better access to food and drink. And then also you can level up from that and get the full Recce Town experience that BMLC is going to put on for us. And so we're really grateful for that partnership that we have with them. We always have had that partnership, but it's a great demonstration of our partnership we have with them. But so you'll want to show up. Like I said, if you want to get that good STEM experience before all the planes start flying, gates open at 8, get your parking into there. If you get one of those free parking passes or you pay for one of them, here's my request. Pack your vehicle and get the largest vehicle you can get, because my biggest struggle with getting people into the air show is the number of vehicles I can get in and out of the gate in a good, timely fashion. And so the larger the vehicle with the more people, the better, because that's my bottleneck for getting people on. So if you get one of those coveted parking passes, whether paid for or not, please pack your vehicles and, I don't know, get to know somebody in the local community a little bit better. So come on in, do your STEM experience from 9 to 12, and then have a full experience from 12 until just after 4 o'clock of all the aerial demonstrations. I have made it paramount that we cover down on security. So it will be the most secure air show you could ask for. For safety, it will be the safest air show that you can ask for. And logistics, so meaning everyone's going to have access to bathrooms, to water, to food. You'll get access to your car anytime you need. You have full safety and security, and along with great logistics with smiling faces directing you where to go the whole entire time. But it is an opportunity for us to show hospitality to the local community for what makes the Air Force and what makes Recce Town, USA really great.
Yeah.
I really appreciate the opportunity to talk about it and to put this on for everybody. First time since 2018, first time in 7 years that we get to host an air show. And then I'll answer you. Hopefully 2 years from now, we get to do another.
Wouldn't that be great?
Oh, it
Wouldn't
will.
that be
It will.
great?
That'd be awesome.
I don't know about anybody else, but I get around aircraft, and I was this way as a kid, because of my dad, but I used to go hang out at Lambert Field, even as a teenager. There is something that just, I turned into a 12-year-old. And then, I don't know if it was you, sir, but somebody came on and said you get to pet the jet.
Yeah,
I was laughing about that because Kurt and I were both security forces. You didn't let people pet the jet. No. They weren't allowed to get near the jet. So this is you.
Now the CCAs you may not get to pet.
Yeah.
You may have to stay back because that's some high tech stuff right now. But you'll get to see them. You'll get to see them. One thing I did forget to say is there's 3 gates that you can use on that day. If you have one of the premium parking passes, you're going to use the Doolittle gate. That'll get you parking that's a little bit closer and all shorter shuttle rides to and from the parking lots. But then if you have one of the other parking passes, you can come in either the Schneider gate or the Wheatland gate on those days. Please do not come in the Vassar or the Grass Lake gate on those days. That will not get you access to the air show. You need to use the 3 gates that I'll repeat of Wheatland or Schneider. And then if you have the premium parking pass, it'll take you in the Doolittle gate.
Doolittle gate. That's the back gate off of Hamilton.
Doolittle is the one on the north side of the flight line.
Yeah. It's actually the gate I used to use.
All right.
Yeah, I just had a flashback. It was
Don't have any intense flashbacks. I've got experts that can help you with that, but don't do that here. Let's go.
What a phenomenal opportunity, and it's really like a week away.
Yeah, it's come right up. A week from Friday is DOD ID card holder day.
Yeah, I want to know, because you got the elevated experiences. Like for $100,000, will you take me up in a T-38?
Let's talk to BMLC about that. See what they can do. I don't know. They've got connections better than me.
Got that money. I'm going to borrow the money from Dave Shaw.
There you go. If you've been working with him, I'm sure that you can save some dough. And you got some dough saved that you could spend that $100,000.
It's his job.
That's right.
Captain Grant, anything, last words you'd like to say, just invitation-wise? I do want you to mention the recruiting factor again, that all branches of the service will be out there.
I just want to start by saying thank you for having us on the platform here. This is a great opportunity to come out here and just kind of showcase our excitement with your viewers. So greatly appreciate that. In terms of the recruiting, every service branch is going to be covered. So as much as I love the Air Force, I love the fact that we are a profession of arms even more. And there's a flavor for everybody. So my whole goal is to just put as many flavors in front of people as I can and let people choose what works best for them personally and what their aspirations are. And then in terms of just STEM, again, we're just excited to showcase the present and the future while also paying homage to the legacy of reconnaissance and showcasing where we started and where we're planning to go. And just, we're excited for that. And looking forward to having everybody out there over the weekend. It's going to be an awesome time. And, can't wait to get this thing going.
So I do want to say this. I joke about the other branches of the service, but it is the nature of the service to kid each other. We're brothers, right? Yeah. And we kid each other. But when things are happening, we appreciate each other.
100%.
So the truth is that all the branches appreciate the other ones for what they do. And
we've got each other's backs.
Yeah. And I wouldn't pick one over the other unless I was standing next to a kid that was thinking about going to one of the other ones. And then I'd have to say, have you thought about that?
That's right.
I may have a bit of bias.
The Air Force?
I may have some bias, Colonel. And so,
I do too.
Any last words?
No, I'm nothing but gratitude and excitement. So thank you for having us on.
Yeah.
And I hope everyone gets to get out there and have this full air show experience to see air power up close and personal. You'll never forget it. It'll be a core memory, I promise you. And it's going to be a great experience.
So this is Fish, and you have been in an exciting in the tank. Only this one, we were like at 70,000 feet in the tank. So it was a little different in the tank. Want to invite everybody, go to BealeAirShow.com. Make sure you get your parking pass. Invite as many people as you can. Go rent a van. That way, you're not clogging the way. You will see more than you can possibly see in a week. You're going to see in a day. There's so much out there. I can't even believe there's 3 hangars. Hangars are not small, full of STEM, things that are interactive. Bring the kids. Be ready for a great time. There's food. You will be taken care of. They are absolutely dialed in for your safety and security, and they want you to have a good time. That's Beale Air Base. They're our neighbors.